In Activity 1, The Water Planet, students learn that most of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and that without water, there would be no life on Earth. They learn that some bodies of water are salty, and others are fresh, and conclude that some plants and animals live in salt water, and others live in fresh water. You will need the following materials from the kit: Activity Sheet 1, plastic dishes, plastic spoons, and masking tape. You will also need to provide basters, 1-quart containers, a topographical globe, paper towels, table salt, and tap water. To prepare for the activity, make a copy of Activity Sheet 1 for each student and obtain a globe that shows the topographical features of the Earth. Mix 1 quart of warm tap water and 2 tablespoons of salt in a clean 1-quart container and label it Oceans. Fill a second container with plain tap water and label it Lakes and Ponds. Place both containers and 2 basters at a distribution station and have paper towels available in case of spills. To begin the activity, display a globe for all students to see. Ask students, "Who can tell me what this is?" Some of the students will know that it is a globe. Then ask, "What is a globe used for?" Explain that a globe is a model of the Earth, and it shows what the Earth looks like from far away. Ask the students to note the different colors on the globe. Explain that brown and green represent land, white at the top and bottom of the globe represents the ice at the North and South poles, and blue represents oceans, lakes, and rivers. Ask students, which color covers most of the globe? Students should observe that most of the globe is blue. Ask students, what does this tell you about the surface of the Earth? Students should understand that the Earth is covered mostly with water. Then guide students to brainstorm a list of plants and animals and ask, where do each of these plants and animals live? Help students distinguish between organisms that live only in water, only on land, or both. Then ask students, do you think plants and animals that live on land need water to survive? Help students understand that land plants need rainwater to help them grow. Land animals drink water when they are thirsty, and some of them catch their food in water. They also use water to clean and cool their bodies. Finally, ask students, what do you think would happen if all of the water on Earth dried up? Lead students to conclude that without water, there would be no life on Earth. Distribute a copy of Activity Sheet 1 to each student, and instruct students to circle each thing that needs water to live. Inform students that water in the oceans is different from water in lakes and ponds. Then, divide the class into teams of 4. For each team, use a baster to put a small amount of salt water in one dish and another baster to put some plain tap water into the other dish. Distribute 1 dish of salt water and 1 dish of plain water to each team. Explain that the water they have just been given is safe to taste, but that as a rule, they should never taste any substance in science class without your permission. Make sure the plastic dishes and the baster are clean, and have the students wash their hands with soap and water before participating in this part of the activity. Have students dip a finger into each dish and taste the water. Then ask, how do they taste? Students will discover that one sample of water tastes salty, and one tastes like ordinary tap water. Ask students, have any of you ever gone swimming in the ocean? What did you notice about the water? The students should respond that the ocean water tasted salty. Then ask students, have any of you ever gone swimming in a lake or pond? How did the water taste? The student should reply that the lake water was not salty, like water from the faucet. Explain that most lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams contain fresh water, while the oceans and a very few large lakes called seas contain salt water. Guide students to locate areas of fresh and salty water on the globe. Next, explain that some plants and animals live in salt water and some live in fresh water, but very few can live in both. Ask students, which of the plants and animals we discussed earlier live in the salty water of the ocean? Which live in freshwater lakes and ponds? Help the students differentiate between these 2 categories of water dwellers. Then ask, does anyone know what an aquarium is? Some students will know that an aquarium is a container used for the study and display of plants and animals that live in water. Explain that aquariums can contain either salt water or fresh water, depending on the type of plants and animals that are to be put into them. Finally, let students know that in the following activities, they're going to build and observe an aquarium filled with living things commonly found in freshwater lakes and ponds. To conclude the activity, collect all the plastic dishes and discard the water. Rinse the dishes and the spoon, allow them to air dry, then return them to the kit. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science Reader, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.